wedding ceremony. In some religions, they have a kind of like to take a vow, isn't it? Or to make something like, how to say, to be honest, to be together forever, like that. In Buddhism, we have a bit of teaching from the monk. Maybe all the monk can give you a bit of that teaching today. And yes, the teaching is to just remind us, remind the couple, you might suppose, to at least, to follow the 5 precepts as Buddhist, the general practice. 5 precepts, as we know well, not to take life, not to harm, not to refrain from taking life or to kill. Yeah. Second one is not to steal, not to take what is not given. The third one is not to sexual misconduct, to refrain from sexual misconduct. This is important. Actually, both 5 of them are important. The fourth one is not to telling lie. So refrain from telling lie. The last one is, not to take intoxicants or not to take drugs and things like that to, to indulge or to make our mind, dilute and not clear. So these 5 precepts, if we all are practicing, if we practice these 5 precepts, we don't need any kind of taking vow or any kind of like, how to say, to take a vow or to in front of anybody. If we just simply everyone respond to their own way of life, as in Buddhist way, it's like a general 5 precept. And actually, there will a few teaching for the couple, for the wedding, for the spouse, for who are going to spend their lives together. And the Buddha said in many different suttas, in Mangala Sutta and in Sigalovada and in a few places in a few sutta, to mention about how we live together peacefully and long life and peaceful family life. So in the Mangala Sutta we have just chant. I think you may know this. Mata pidu patanang Buddha Dharasa Sankhaho. Buddha Dharasa Sankhaho is to support, or to give the support, or to give the way of like love and kindness to our couple, to our wife and husband, and also together with our children. Now you are expecting, a little bit of, the kids or the infant is coming. So now, whatever, in life, we need to think about each other, including our small one as well. So living together, we know well, we always talk about our mouth and tongues. They live together since long time, but sometimes they just crash, isn't it? Is our life also same? We come from different parents, different paths. You come from different country. We live together. Sometimes, I like this, you don't like that. I like that, you don't like that. You have to follow me. You have to follow the way that I want. You want to follow whatever. If we have this kind of thing all the time, that we will endless, fighting. Because everyone, all of us, we cannot have like the same thing, the same idea, the same kind of thinking. Even ourselves, sometimes we just can't, agree ourselves that I like what I think all the time, isn't it? So, second person also. the thing that we need, the Dhamma we need him to hear is that to be like tolerance, how to say tolerance, isn't it? Tolerance or khanti. Khanti is to be tolerant, to be patient among, to be patient among us, understanding as well. So understanding, patient, and calm, and and always forgive. So if we have this kind of dhamma, then it will be, our life will be, our marriage life will be long, and then, we'll be happy, Then Peter, remember sometime when Amy has something, or maybe now it's a bit of, because of baby in here, and maybe sometime, a bit of mind can be easily agitated. You have to understand. Amy also, if Peter did something, a bit of mistake, we have to understand. We have to understand. So understanding of each other is need. It need. You see the couple, they spend life together. Yes, more than 50 years. 22 years, and they are more than 50 years as well. So this is understanding and always forgiveness. And when we have something problem or agitated, between each other, so we have to go back to when we first met. Everything is sweet, isn't it? Even you have done something wrong, a little bit, it's okay, it's just nothing. Or even a big mistake, it's okay, Peter, it's okay, Ime, it's just nothing. So when we first met. But later, because we have spent life all times together, it can be changed. But always go back and think about when we just first met. And then if we have kids now, we have to think of the kids. We have to think of our child, our son, our daughter. Then we can continue a life together. Well, I think a few Dhamma teaching I want to give in Buddhist way of practices is about, we have sajja, sajja is be honest. Sajja is like to support the fourth precept, not to telling lies. Sajja is to be honest to your kappa, to yourself as well. So we don't do the dishonesty. So we honest to be honest. The second one we call dhamma. Dhamma is to restrain or to be restrain one's mind. So sometimes we want to do something, but we have to hesitate not to do. Like restrain your mind not to do what is not right to your family. Restrain, And the third one is khanti. This is very important as well. Khanti is patient tolerance. Sometimes we want to be that, and even sometimes we don't want him or her to be like that. We have to be patient. And then we ourselves, if it's not right, to support our marriage life, we can change our way of life to fit into each other. So this is the way of khanti. And then jaka. Jaka is this one we can call generosity. Both of you, like a generosity, we have to support each other or support your relatives, your family. And another thing now here, we are at the temple, you support the temple as well. As Peter always said, and me sometimes, because Peter has been here for many years already, when he came sometime, when he comes to the temple to do, this and that, Peter, why do you go to temple all the time? You have to understand him because has been doing this for a long time. You have to be with me. Why going to the monks? You don't have to say that. Okay, mean you need to understand. Or yes, maybe sometime we come to do meditation and to calm himself and mind. So we need to understand that. So the thing is, we have sometimes different cover. They have different belief, different faith, or different privacy. How to say? And we have to understand him or her as well. You know, the way that you used to practice, like Amy, if you do the way of like respect your ancestor, how do you say? In Chinese, they do once a year in, you know, you go to your ancestor place and you offer this kinds of thing. But you also need to understand the way of like culture, like your mommy said, you know, culture or the way of we used to do. So if we accept, you know, each other what we used to do, so we can go on. The important thing is that we adjust ourselves to each other. We adopt ourselves to each other. So we have a good and I think happy marriage life. Yeah. I think I don't want to speak too much. And yes, we're talking about care. Yeah, care is, you know, we care each other. We care each other from emotional care, or from physical care, or from our family care. And then we also care or share. We share our good heart. We share our housework. We share our property or our things. What it is share, you know. We share happiness and we share whatever rising into us. So when we have happiness, we have together, and when we have something problem, we can solve it together. And so with this, we can go together well. You can go together well. So this is what I want to give you, just a little bit of things today: understanding, respecting, and you know, understand each other about their faith, belief, and other kinds of tradition. So may this blessing today be may the qualities of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and the qualities of all the goodness, all the wholesome deeds, all the good deeds that all the Sangha here have done, and all what you have done as well, be always with you and be always bless you, and may your marriage life be long and safe and happy marriage life forever.